This lesson is on the locus definition of a parabola. You should have the two interactive notebook handouts I gave you in class. The first one looks like this. It has the 4 columns with equation, focus, directrix, and the one you can't see that says graph. When we open it up inside, we have a definition. So for a given point called a focus, a given line not through the focus, called the directrix, a parabola is the locus of points such that the distance to the focus equals the distance to the directrix. So we have this picture at the bottom. You can see where the focus is, and you can see where the vertex is and the directrix. So the distance from the focus to the vertex and the vertex to the directrix is equal. This distance is equal, and that is called the p-value. Okay. So to the left, where it says p equals, you're going to write distance from, let's use F for focus, to V for vertex, or V for vertex to D for directrix. So your p-value is from the focus to the vertex, or the vertex to the directrix. The directrix is a line not through the focus. It has to be the same distance, remember, away from the vertex. Okay? H and K are the vertex of your parabola. And A is the value 1 over 4p. And that can be either positive or negative. Okay? So above this, we're going to write our 3 equations of a parabola. You know the vertex form, which is y equals a parenthesis x minus h squared plus k. That should be familiar. We now are going to replace a with this 1 over 4p. What is p? P is the distance between the focus and the vertex, or the vertex and the directrix. So y equals, and remember, a can be positive or negative. That's true. So it's going to be 1 over 4p, positive or negative. And notice that 4p is on the bottom. It's not 1/4 p. It's 1 over 4p times x minus h squared plus k. You could also, another way to see this formula sometimes is they move the k to the other side. So you have y minus k equals plus or minus 1 over 4p parenthesis x minus h squared. So the x minus h squared is being multiplied by 1 over 4p, whatever that value is. Okay? All right, so that's that first piece. We said the focus of a parabola is a fixed point. Fixed means it does not move. On the interior of a parabola, it's always going to be inside the parabola. Then we have the directrix, which is perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. Hopefully you remember the axis of symmetry. This is, you're going to want to write this on here, the axis of symmetry. So it's always perpendicular, so it makes that right angle down there, okay? It's perpendicular to the axis of symmetry, and it does not touch the parabola. That's very important, okay, because it's got to be that same distance away. Notice we have these other pieces. So the distance from the focus to any point on the parabola is the same distance from that point to the directrix, okay? All right. Now, in the last part, we have 2 pictures. And they are important because it depends on your A value which picture you have. So the first picture is when A is positive. And this picture is when A is negative. I'm sure you've heard happy parabola, sad parabola, and that depends on the A value. So it depends on which way it opens up. Now remember, if you look at the picture, 0p, that is if your vertex is only at the origin, okay? They're trying to show you that this distance and this distance is both p, okay? And the same thing in this one. So if it's a sad parabola, notice that focus is still inside, and the directrix is still that p distance away, okay? It's just the directrix is above, I guess you want to say, that parabola, that sad parabola, where this one it's below this happy parabola. Notice that the focus and the vertex always have the same x values. Okay, they're always going to be straight up and down. We are only doing happy and sad parabolas. We are not doing their inverses, so you don't have to worry about that. Remember, the inverse would be a sideways parabola. It opens left or opens right. We're not doing that, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's go and try some examples, the second page that I gave to you, and then we'll call it a day. All right, you are going to need your calculator for the graphically part. So go ahead and grab your calculator. Okay, we are going to graph this, so make sure you have a graph page open. Now, one of the keys is that it does not say y equals in the problem, so we are going to delete this equal sign and just type in the equation. Now, you could get y equals, but what if you make a mistake? So that's why not doing that is probably better, or a way to check your algebra, because we're going to do this both ways. So that's what we are doing. And you can see our beautiful parabola. I'm going to change how much of it I see. Beautiful. Okay, for this question says the directrix of the parabola blank has the equation y equals -6, so I'm even going to put that in. So y equals -6. There we go, we can see it. Find the coordinates of the focus of the parabola. So if you go to the menu and you go to your favorite button, Analyze Graph, and we go to number 8, Analyze Conics, we see lots of goodies in here that we've talked about. We have the foci, we have the vertices, and we also have the directrix, which we're going to need for our work. We can't just write the answer down, okay? So first we'll find the foci. So remember, if you don't know what to do, you can always hover. So it says click on the appropriate conic. So we're just going to click on this, and look at that. It gave us the foci, or in our case, focus. Okay, I'm going to hit escape to turn off my tool. I'm going to do it again. So menu, 6, 8, and then I'm going to find the vertices. And again, what does it say? It says click on the appropriate conic. So click, and it gave me the vertex. I'm going to hit escape. And then I'm going to find the directrix. So again, menu, 6, 8, and the directrix is number 5. And it says to click on the appropriate conic. And there we go. Oh, we already had the directrix. Duh. All right. So I hit escape to turn that off. I'm going to drag my equation out of the way because that's annoying. So there's the pieces I need to put on my paper in order to get full credit. Maybe I want to include menu 6, 8. Menu 6, 8. The axis of symmetry, maybe that will help me draw it better. So this says to click again. So there's the axis of symmetry. And it even gave me, notice, that equation there. All right. So I'm going to hit escape to turn it off. I'm going to go back to my paper and I'm going to sketch this. So please pause the video here. Sketch all of this onto your paper. Please make sure you label everything. And then continue when you're ready. All right, this is what it should look like on your paper with your axis of symmetry, AOS, labeled, your focus, the F, labeled at 4, 0, the vertex at 4, -3, the directrix at -6, and it asks you to find the focus, so you might want to write focus next to it so they know that is your answer, and you're all done, graphically, full credit. So now, how do we do it algebraically? That is the question you're going to ask. Okay, to find the focus, we need to break down this equation or get this equation into our usual form, which is vertex form or one of the vertex forms. And then we need to find the vertex and the p-value to find the focus, because remember, from here to here, that's your p-value, and so is from here to here, that's your p-value. So that's what we're going to do on this other side. So let me grab a pen. So we have 12 times y plus 3 equals x minus 4 squared. So I think, my, again, personal opinion, is to get it so that y is alone. So we have to undo the plus 3, and we have to undo the 12 times. Again, we're undoing the orders of operations, so you're going to divide by 12 first. We don't need the parenthesis anymore, so y plus 3 equals, instead of me saying dividing by 12, it's an a value or a 1 over 4 p value, so I'm going to use a fraction. Dividing by 12 is the same as multiplying by 1/12. X minus 4 squared. I could leave it like this. That was one of our forms. If you're comfortable, that's great. Then leave it that way. If not, if you're going to say that your vertex is at 3, then that's a problem. Then you might want to move this over. Okay, so y equals 1 over 12, x minus 4 squared minus 3. So our equation, remember this part is 1 over 4p. So we're going to set that equal to 1 over 12. Because the numerators are equal, the denominators are equal. So 4p equals 12. So my p-value is 3. If the numerators are not equal, you can't do that. You have to undo your orders of operations. Your vertex is h and k. Well, remember, your formula is y equals, I'll write it at the top, y equals a x minus h squared plus k. So in parentheses is opposite. So since I see minus 4 and the formula has minus h is 4. And your k is plus k, so plus what number is -3? Well, it's -3. So there's my vertex. So again, I'm trying to find the focus. So if I graph this, if my vertex is at 4, -3, there's my vertex. My p-value means that from my vertex up is my focus. So if I go up 3, I'm right here. This is my focus, because this is my p-value. And then if I went 3 down, that would also give me my directrix. But I don't have to go 3 down. So p equals 3. So if my vertex is at 4, -3, if I go up 3, that means my focus is at 4, 0. And there's all my work to prove it. And on the calculator, I could have checked it. All right, last question. We are given an equation, and it's in vertex form. How nice. We need to identify the vertex, the focus, the axis of symmetry, and the directrix of each. And then we need to sketch it. So why don't you pause the video, practice on your calculator like the one above, and we will go over it when you're ready. All right, this should be what it looks like. You should have had to zoom right in on that calculator, because what is your p-value? I know that's not in here, but your p-value is here to here, and here to here. So what is that p-value? Well, if you're going from 1 to 7/8 or 1 to 9/8, 1 is 8 out of 8, right? So that means I'm going down to 7/8 or up to 9/8. So my p-value is 1/8. So if you think about that equation, 1 over 4p, that means I'd be 1 over 4 times 1/8. Well, 4 times 1/8 is 1/2. So 1 over 1/2 is 2. So that means my A value is 2. And it's a happy parabola. It's positive. This was all extra. I just want to make sure that you're okay with that. So if your p-value is a fraction, your A value is a whole number. If your p-value is a whole number, your A value is a fraction. All right. Well, that's it. Good luck. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate